Good morning. Let's go. Let me get back for this. Y'all ready? Come on. One more time. Good morning, everybody. And you know what we got to do right now. We got to do it. We got to wake up those paws. We got to wake up those paws. We got to wake up those paws and shake it off. Doot, 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 doot. How is everybody doing this hump day, April 9th? That's right, y'all, 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. That's right, 6 o'clock in the morning, our bottom line. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and boy, do we have a lot in the clip and a lot to cover. I can't wait to get into today, and I'm so happy that you guys are here with me today. Hope you had a fantastic evening, whoever did have the chance to go to sleep, because y'all almost worse than me. Woo! Y'all get up early. I thought I got up early, but y'all on point. Let me get this camera straight real quick so we can go ahead and make sure that you guys can see everything on these clips that's coming up, because we got so much to cover, and boom, that's how fast we did that. We took care of that already. So yeah, it's your boy Bugatti NYC. Welcome to our bottom line. Hoping that everybody's having a fantastic morning. We've got a lot to cover today. Like I said, probably heard me say that a couple of times already. But I just want to make sure that you guys know I'm so happy that you guys are here. Happy that we woke up another day to say thank you to God for giving us another opportunity to move forward. Worry about problems later. We have achieved another goal and we saw another sunrise. So that's fantastic, everybody. That's our main objective, number one. Let's see who's in the building so we can shout some of our locals, some of our dedicated friends out. Also, don't forget to let me know where you're chiming in from. We got Tulsa, Oklahoma in the building. Is that Yaya? We got Kendra Walker in the building from Virginia. How you doing? How you doing, Kendra? Hope you're doing great this morning. Who else we got? We got our dedicated person, one of our dedicated hosts. We got Batty Lynn in here from Detroit. Y'all already know what's going on. Detroit is in the building. Who else we got up in here today? Okay, you know, we always got Car Care. Car Care be in here early, ready to go. We got Natalie Georgievich. Thank you so much again for chiming in. Thank you, Natalie, for being here. Chad C, what's good? Okay, Chad C says, well said. Let's make it a great day. That's right. Let's make it a fantastic day. We have another day above ground. That's how we do that. Hope everybody's if you don't have to go to work, you're going to be able to do the whole show. If you do, stick around until you have to go, because we got a lot in the clip. So that's why I don't want to waste any time. I like to get right down to it because we got a lot to say and a lot to cover. We're going to be doing some follow-ups, of course. Got some really good news about those tariffs. One question I want to ask you guys real soon is, first of all, we're going to get into the clips. Let's get into this thumbnail. And I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you guys. So without any further ado, let's get it. Where you at? Car Care says NY love. Thumbs up, Car Care. What's up with Florida? How everything going on down there? I'm jealous of you guys down there with y'all fantastic weather. It's raining up here. It's freezing. Feels like the winter hit us again, but I know you chilling where you're at. But without any further ado, let me get into these titles because it's time to get to work. Now let's go. What we got here? We got Trump wins again. Hey, it seems like the boy is just on a roll and you got to give credit where it's due. You see what that says? It says Trump wins again. How did Trump win again? Trump wins again how? The Supreme Court rules Aliens Enemies Act can be used. You guys remember El Salvador, the planes that were going back to Venezuela, where Judge Bozeman was trying to stop the flights from going back and taking the illegal criminal migrants back to their place of origin? Well, now guess what? The Supreme Court has overturned that, and they're able to continue with the flights, sending the illegal criminal migrants back. Also, in other subcategories, we have Pete Hegseth here, who says the Houthis, it's been a rough 3 weeks for the Houthis, and we're still hitting them. So as you guys know, President Trump ordered airstrikes on the Houthis, who is an annex, sort of a subfraction of Iran's soldiers. And basically, they've been hitting them really hard. They've been hitting them with at the heads. They've been bombing all over there. So a lot of the Houthis have basically been taking a lot of hits. And they said that they're not stopping until they're totally annihilated. That's what Pete Hegseth says. And last but not least, we have Jolie here from Canada, who says our relationship will never be the same. As you know, tariffs came in, and a lot of countries are pushing back. They're very angry about us implementing tariffs on their countries and our products. So of course, Canada, Mexico, a lot of people are giving a lot of pushback. But as what we're going to show you coming forward, a lot of phone calls are being made and a lot of turnaround is actually happening. So is this a good thing for our country? Is it actually starting to balance out now? We're going to see. And we're going to get into these clips because the first thing I want to show you guys just heads in on a lot of the topics and things that we've been paying attention to. And I'm not going to hold back. We're going to get right into what's going on with Iran right now, because we're happy to announce that they're finally ready to have talks with the United States about nuclear missiles and weaponry. So hopefully we're going to get somewhere with that with Iran. So here we go without any further ado. Also, don't forget, every time you chime in, please let me know where you're chiming in from. We like to get information from where you're from to make sure that we keep the dialogue back and forth so it's relative. I like to find clips of, let's say if you're in Oklahoma, Ohio, I might be able to find a clip that's relative to you, play it tomorrow in another episode. So let's keep on moving forward, you guys. Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
Let's start with the big story that we are tracking on Beyond at this hour. Donald Trump has said that the United States is starting direct high-level talks with Iran over its nuclear program. While Iran has confirmed that discussions are set for Saturday in Oman, it is stressed that these talks will be indirect in nature. Now, Donald Trump made the shock announcement during a White House meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Now, speaking at the Oval Office, Donald Trump said that he was hopeful of reaching a deal with Tehran, but warned that it would be in great danger if the talks were to fail. Now, Donald Trump did not say as to where the talks would take place, but insisted that they would not involve other countries and would be almost the highest level.
And we're dealing with them directly. You know, a lot of people say, oh, maybe you're going through surrogates or you're not dealing directly, you're dealing through other countries. No, we're dealing with them directly, and maybe a deal is going to be made. That'd be great. It'd be really great for Iran, I can tell you that. But hopefully, we're not going to have to get into that. We are meeting very importantly on Saturday at almost the highest level.
I honestly have to say this. I have to agree with what's coming up, and that's going to be this clip of Pete Dosey that says that Trump is really dug in on every single thing that he's doing. Seems like he's being very firm with Iran. I've never seen presidents do that, number one. Also, no matter what the pushback he's getting right now, tariffs, he's really on his thing, like no matter what, we're going to negotiate these tariffs. And that's one of my questions to you guys really quickly. What if tariffs actually work? Is he going to get the credit for it? Or will they still try to find small things to keep on, getting at him about? I want you guys to see right now what I'm talking about with this Pete Dosey part right here. So let's go into this. When they're saying Trump is really dug into what he's got going on right now.
All right, let's talk about your money and trade. And the trade battle between the United States and China is ramping up, with Beijing promising to, quote, fight to the end, whatever that means.
Meanwhile, dozens of other countries have already reached out to the Trump administration to begin the trade negotiations as the president orders talks now with Japan.
Well, which is good news. The markets seem to like that. Peter Doocy joins us from the White House. Peter. Yes, about a third of all countries on the planet that are dealing with, at a minimum, this new 10% baseline tariff are calling folks in the West Wing here asking for the way down.
Tell you that there are 50, 60, maybe almost 70 countries now who have approached us. So it's going to be a busy April, May, maybe into June. President Trump is going to be personally involved in these negotiations, and he believes, as many of us do, that there's been an unfair playing field, so the negotiations are going to be tough.
Well, nobody tougher than China, where officials are warning today the U.S. threat to escalate tariffs on China is a mistake on top of a mistake, and once again exposes the blackmailing nature of the U.S. China will never accept this. If the U.S. insists on its own way, China will fight to the end.
Now, that's what I was telling you guys about all week, all month. Did you hear all of the preceding conversations that were said in that? You heard Peter Dosey say, over 50 countries have already called. They want to negotiate. Do you notice how China, I told you guys, China, they don't care, especially when it comes to Xi Jinping. I'm telling you, him. The only way we may be able to negotiate is with TikTok. When it comes down to him, the only way we may be able to negotiate is that. But then again, I still don't even believe that. And plus, do you guys remember they did say that they may sell TikTok without the algorithm? That's like the car with no motor. So what are they really giving us? Let's keep on moving forward. I want to stack this deck because now Canada is saying that our relationship with the U.S. will never be the same. This is what Jolie is saying right here. So let's get into it. We got Jolie right here. Let's keep on going. You guys know how we do it in the beginning. We stack the deck so that we have things to talk about so I can get to those comments to see what you guys have to say about what we're showing. So now here we go with our relationship will never be the same with the U.S. and why Canada is saying this.
I think European partners should respond.
So the goal of the president is to do a global reset on trade. And Canada has been dealing with this now for more than 90 days. We're the biggest client of the US by far. We buy more from the US than the UK, France, China, and Japan combined. So for anybody that has been in business before, when you treat your client, your best client, the way we've been treated, well, of course, it means that you want fundamentally to change the way you're operating. So in that sense, in Canada, what we've said is we take stock of what the US has done, and at the same time, we know that the relationship will never be the same again. And that's my message to Europeans. The relationship with the US will never be the same.
That's like when somebody keep on coming to you asking you for money because we've been floating Canada for the longest. The longest. And the worst thing to do is you keep on giving somebody something, keep on giving it to them, and then they get mad at you when you stop giving it to them. Hey, you guys might be angry with me, but I've been a victim of that myself. You keep on helping somebody out, they get used to it. And then it's like, you stop helping me out. Do you guys know that we subsidize $250 billion a year to Canada? So now when it comes down to trade and certain things like that, they've literally pulled our brands off of their shelves. That hurts us really badly, right? I deal with Canada myself. You guys just don't know when it comes down to the business aspects, to trading, and to even shipments. Tariffs have so much to do with the actual leveling of the prices when it comes down to the retail aspect. Everybody has to add their piece on. If I make it in the farm, I sell it to somebody, that's the wholesaler. The wholesaler takes it and he sells it to the market. Then the market takes it and they sell it to the retailer. So every one of those people, they put their additional price on it of what that product is going to cost. So depending on what the services are that they add to that product down the line, that tells you how much more it's going to cost. That's why a pair of jeans can start off at the overseas in China at $6 and they'll land over here at about $10 or $12 because they get double hit on the border, then they get hit at customs and certain things like that. So when certain companies like academics and companies that we used to use, we would cut a hole in the back of the jean and you'd write sample really big on the inside. So they won't give you a salesman tariff, they'll give you a sample tariff because you're still back and forth in production. And until you get that right, they'll let you float for a little bit. A little bit on tariffs to let you guys know. I do know about tariffs, but just one category when it comes down to clothing. We're going to keep it going. I want you guys to see the rest of this.
They want to do things differently, and we understand that. And that's why we will seek to make sure that we get to an agreement on trade, but also on security, because both cannot be siloed.
They want our security because they need that army. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know y'all need us. Stop playing and keep on talking. We're about to cut something else. Stop playing with us, man. See, y'all got to really understand what these countries are doing to us. I know. When you're actually in the business and they're pulling your stuff off the shelves and stuff like that, and we like, oh my God, what's going on? And y'all out there like, y'all don't know, it's not that. They're pulling our stuff off as well. And Canada is a very hard country to do business with. They don't want the liter bottles. They want 1/4. They don't want 750s. They want, so you got to get custom bottles just to deal with them. No, don't even start me off with that. Don't even start. I got more to go. I got more to go. But I got to also get to you guys in these comments because I want to know what you got to say. So let's go here. Let's go. I got a lot to track. I got a lot to backtrack. So let me get to work. Okay, here we go. We've got knowledge power. Your message was taken down. Natalie says Syracuse, New York. Chad C, well said. Let's make it a great day. What else we got? Slim Barbie says Savage. Good morning. Iran Proxy says MV. Angela Conti says let's not forget they can deport legal citizens. Hope you're ready to find your loved ones missing and don't agree with the government. Car Care says Trump thumbs up. Natalie says we need not to let neocons get us into wars with Iran. Kendra Walker says, what's up, Slim? Natalie Georgievich says, war. Car Care, America must scroll the world. Car Care, tariffs are important tax to rogue nations. Car Care again says that Trump news. What else we got? I said a car. What else we got? Chad C says 2 Chinese troops found on front lines in Ukraine. China can explain or face Russian type of sanctions. IMO. Kelsey says Cunningham, Canada, not being much anymore. And then you got Boss Titties. In the end, we all still live in the lies and face the truth. Rebecca says over 100 years ago, the federal government only revenue came from tariffs. Also, we got Sonic says, bruh, you finna be wrong. Okay, Justin said buying more than they do is taken from America. It doesn't like that deal. Why did Trump make it? If America doesn't want trade deficit, buy less or sell more. Okay, whoo! Trying to say as much as I can to get you guys comments out. So do me a favor, please, if you like the content, go ahead and like so more people can come over because we got a ton more to go over. I will still be saying your comments, but I want you guys to see what President Trump is saying at the national countdown as he talks about these. President Trump, he claims the national countdown to tariffs and gives a deadline as well as updates on the progress. I want you guys to see some comments coming from our President Trump himself. We got some new video footage from the delivers remarks at the National Republican Congressional Committee dinner last night. I want you guys to see the progress where we're at right now, what the tariffs are actually doing, and what the president's saying about the actual phone calls and how much money we're making every day ever since the tariffs. I'm going to cheat and tell you, we've been making $1 billion a day since he implemented tariffs. Let's go. Let's keep on going.
It's wonderful, and I want to thank especially Speaker Mike Johnson because he's been incredible. Just let him go. To compete against women, can you believe?
Sorry. Let's go.
And we have some unbelievable supporters of our House Republican majority with us, as you know, and with the help of everyone in this room. The next year's Republican Party is going to defy history. We're going to really defy it, and we already are. We're getting things done. It's going to be very interesting to see. This is going to be a very interesting year. We have an interesting time. We're making a fortune with tariffs. $2 billion a day. Do you believe it? I was told $2 billion a day. You know, I get hit by the press about tariffs. We're making $2 billion. This isn't 35 million, that's peanuts. $2 billion a day. And then they say, gee, they don't know. You know, this is only the enemy can be talking this way. In addition, we have a lot of countries coming to see us that want to make a deal. And we're doing We're doing things that nobody's ever even thought about.
That was my question. What if it works? What if all of a sudden it actually works? We're making $2 billion a day, and all of these countries are now calling in trying to negotiate. What if it works? Seems like it's working. For the interim and the time right now, it's really rocky. Remember, guys, we're in this boat. But guess what? It's calming down and it's kind of going our way now. So, but what if it works? That's my question to you. What if the tariffs actually work? After we finish this clip, I'd like to answer that question, and I'd like to read you guys' comments to that question. What if these tariffs actually work? Does that mean, I'm not even going to say the other side of it, because there's a few options here of what could happen. I want to know what you guys have to say about it.
Doing, and we're going to defeat the radical left Democrats who are out there complaining about everything. All they do is complain, and then they want to put men and women's sports and things like that. They want men and women's sports. They're still fighting for that. I saw this poor guy. You all know him. I won't mention his name. He's sort of a nice guy. He's a loser. He's a Democrat, but he's a loser. And he was fighting on a big show this morning. We've got to have that. It's not fair that, essentially, that men aren't allowed to compete against women. Can you believe this guy? But let them do it. I say we shouldn't be fighting a lot of these things. Just let them go. And then just before the next election, we'll unleash on them. Because it would be very sad if they actually changed their policies. We don't.
I need you guys to do me a favor. If you appreciate the content, we got about 144 people in the building. We got 21 likes. I really appreciate to get more people over here. How do you do that, Boogotti? By you guys hitting that like button or double tapping the screen. And what I will do is, I promise you, I won't ask you this a lot, and I'll stop messing with the clips. I'll let them go. So I understand you guys want to see the rest of this, right? But I'm going to need you to get those likes up, because I don't ask for monetary. I like to get the likes up so more people come over. So more people come over because YouTube puts up a notification saying our bottom line is up right now, and you have a chance to check it out by you pressing that button. And if you don't believe me, if you stick around, you're going to see people come in the comments and say, what's going on over here? Because they saw that notification that you made happen by pressing that like button. A lot of people don't explain that. I like to, and I basically do it because everybody says the same thing. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. It's so common. I like to explain so you can understand what I'm trying to get out of this. We don't ask for monetary. We appreciate it though, but we really like to get the likes up to let more people come over. I'm not going to interrupt the video anymore, especially if I see the likes going up. But if I don't, I'm going to have to ask again. So let's keep on going, guys.
I want that to happen. But we're going to win the midterm elections, and we're going to have a tremendous thundering landslide. I really believe that. And it's so important that we pass the big, beautiful bill, because that's going to be, and I really think we're helped a lot by the tariff situation that's going on, which is a good situation, not a bad. It's great. It's going to be legendary. You watch, legendary in a positive way, I have to say. It's going to be legendary. But I really think it actually puts pressure on those few Republicans that just can't get there. You know what the alternative is? A Democrat bill or a chapter for the country. You know, we have the debt continuation. And they have to do this. They have to get there, and I think we are there. We had a great meeting today. I think we are there. But just in case there are a couple of Republicans out there, you just got to get there. Close your eyes and get there. It's a phenomenal bill. Stop grandstanding. Just stop grandstanding. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, their policy, the Democrats, is horrible. It's horrible. Think of it, open borders. Just all of the.
What you guys think now? I'm going to come into the comments to see what you guys are saying. You're doing really bad on those likes, though. I got to tell you, y'all doing really bad on the likes. Guess you don't appreciate the content, so let me see what we got here. Mike A, why is there still tax on my overtime? What else we got here? We got Chad C. Seems like a really risky experiment throughout history. Tariff policies have not been successful. If it works, I will be amazed. Cool for USA, just too risky, makes the market fearful and jumpy. I agree with you, Chad C, but at some point we had to do something like this. Okay, Yaya says, not quite yet, good citizen. Car Care says, everybody must go home. Party done in the USA. Boss Titties says, half of you believe the lies and the other half allows the lies. Rashid says, bro, giving Trump a tongue bath with all this blazing. Okay. Anyway, Mike A. Legendarily bankrupting people's retirements. What else you got? Roderick with the prayers, and I don't know what that is. Sorry. Mr. Good Citizen says, boss, doubtful if you're a liberal. We got Car Care that says, deport, deport, deport. Boss Titty says, only truth from me combined with common sense. Good, guys. Let's go ahead and get those likes up. I see we got about 30 something with 140 people in the building. Let me try to get those likes up to at least about 80. Let me see them move right now. Double tap that screen. Let's go ahead and get those likes up, y'all. Let's go ahead and do that.
Horrible, stupid things they have. You don't have energy, you don't have anything. They've lost their confidence. Everything is bad. But the one thing, they always vote in unison. You don't see somebody that's holding up. I'm going to hold up. And the alternative is hell. You know, the alternative is hell. So the Republicans, just that one little thing the Republican Party has to do is get together and damn vote. If you're a single guy or a second guy, and you fight like hell for what you get, and then in the end you have to vote because the policy is phenomenal. You know, they don't get every little ounce. It doesn't work that way. And this bill that we're working on now is the best I think we've ever passed. Mike, wherever you may be, it's the best. I think it's the best thing we'll get it passed. But I think it's going to be the most important thing we've ever passed. It's the best thing we've ever passed. And I do think that the war with the world, which is not a war at all, because they're all coming here. Japan is coming here as we speak. They're in a plane flying, lots of them, all tough negotiators. But things that people wouldn't have given us 2 years ago, wouldn't have even thought of it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7, they're giving us everything.
So what do you guys think about this? I mean, that's what I want to know about in the comments. What do you guys think about actual results? He said these people are flying in. You got phone calls and stuff happening. What do you guys have to say in response to this? I want to know. I really do. What else we got? Best Boss Titty says, we still lie about Santa, then teach the lie or not to our kids. Samuel says, they think they are in control, but God is in control. Tariff, China, 200%. Rashid says, he is obviously lying. Trump's been talking about this since 1988, and Democrats were all about it when Obama was doing it. And in the past 20 years has been before that. Okay. All right, y'all, but we got that out. You know, we don't all word the content. We got a whole bunch more in the clip. Ain't like I got to stay on that forever. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole bunch more to go. And a lot of people were really not in agreement with what the president was saying. Because, again, a lot of people are out here in the real world, and we're still feeling the rock in the boat. We're still paying the high prices, and it hasn't touched us yet. So it's really hard to understand and relate when it hasn't touched our pockets that are touched, and then our stomachs are touching our backs. I can fit my 17-year-old suit now. I mean, come on. I'm not supposed to be able to fit this. That means things are getting tight around here, huh? Literally. So let's keep on going, you guys. Let's talk about what these small businesses are talking about. Their optimism is failing. I'm gonna be honest with you, there's not a lot of small businesses that are hiring right now. Why? This is not the time to hire or invest monetary. You gotta hold on right now with all these tariffs and this boat being so rocky. We got bills coming in. You gotta hope that the customers can come in and pay for stuff. So small business optimism is very bad right now. And I'm gonna take you on a trip right now so you can see what it's just like with these small businesses right now, because the optimism is pretty low. So check this out, guys.
We have a new look at how small businesses are faring in this economy. Senior economics reporter Steve Leisman joins us with the latest NFIB survey. Hey, Steve.
Morning, Joe. Yeah, the NFIB Small Business Optimism Index falling for the third straight month, giving back most of the initial gains from the election of President Trump. You can see here the National Federation of Independent Business saying their optimism index dropping 3.3 points to 97.4. That's the biggest monthly decline since June 2022. The index remains above where it was in October, but well below its December peak. 7 of the 10 components falling, most notably the job creation plans. That's one we have to watch out for. The expectations for higher real sales declining. Plans to raise prices did go up, and minus 16, or down a net percent of 21% who expect the economy to improve. That's the third consecutive monthly decline, the largest since December 2020. We're watching these employment numbers. Plastic increase employment dropping to its lowest level since April 2024. That could reflect how a decline in sentiment might show up in the real economy with less hiring. It may also reflect difficulty in finding workers. There are now multiple business surveys looking like they did either at the start of the pandemic or before the Fed launched its big rate hikes in 2022 to cool the economy. So that seems how businesses processing all these tariffs is a pretty massive break of uncertainty and a break on economic activity, at least until the situation is more clear. Joe, just to note, these are Trump's people, this NFIB crowd who does these things. They didn't like Biden at all. They shot up when Trump was elected. The other thing is, I wonder if there's a miscalculation here on his part, because these small businesses can't do what Tim Cook's doing. They can't look around and go from like, oh, I was in China, oh, now I'll go to India. They don't have that option as a small business.
Right. Since the beginning of time,
So that's it, guys. Optimism is crazy. They already said it was still in that boat that I keep on telling you guys about. So tariffs, you see where we're at. You get an idea of what the optimism is. Now you're starting to hear that all of the countries are starting to make phone calls. Now we might start seeing some results in the market, the Wall Street stock market. Then you're going to start possibly seeing the numbers go better. So this actually may be a good time to buy stocks since they're very low. If you're an investor, a lot of investors are actually buying now because it can't get but so low. So believe it or not, this is the time to invest. I'm not a stock trader to tell you what to do, but if that's something that you do, they do say when the stock market is bad, that's the best time to invest. So want to know what you guys think about that part. But I want to shoot on over to MTA in New York, because Kathy Jokel Hochul, our governor, who does not know her ass from her elbow, is continuously just making an ass of herself, as well as us, the New York citizens. As the MTA employees get attacked in this Bronx station, when she keeps on saying, hey, let's do congestive pricing to make more people take the subway. So now she's putting more people on the subway without the police, because the police aren't down there anymore. And now even the people that work in the train station, they getting beat up. Yeah, what you gonna do? Say, oh, we got it on video. We gonna catch them. We gonna be on the lookout for them when the crime is already done. Thank you, Kathy. Lady don't know her ass from her elbow, and she happens to be the governor of the strongest city in the world.
Alexa, thank you so much. 5:03, and breaking at this hour, the NYPD now searching for a suspect wanted for attacking two MTA employees in the subway.
Authorities say he attacked them with a scooter. Pix 11's Colorama live in the Eastchester section of the Bronx with more for us this morning. Kala?
Hey, good morning to both of you. We're at the last stop at the 5 train, which is Dyer and Light Street. And I want to show you the area here of where this happened. At 12:05, train service was coming to an end on the 5 train. Police say the conductor woke up a man that was sleeping on the train and went to clear that train. The passenger became irate when he was asked to leave, spitting on the conductor and then swinging his Razor scooter at the conductor, hitting him in the face, causing pain. Another MTA worker tried to step in onto the platform to assist and grab the passenger's arm when he was also hit by that metal scooter, spraining his thumb. Now, we can also tell you that another incident happened once again in Brooklyn just last week. This is the second violent incident against an MTA worker in as many weeks. And in that incident, the cabin door for the conductor was open. She was punched in the face and her keys was stolen.
But no. We need y'all to understand that congestive pricing is necessary so that they can spend more money on a train, right? So that that person, the head of it, I forgot his name and don't even care, so he can keep his salary going, right? And then guess what? With the maraschino cherry on top, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? The fare is about to go up on the train. How about that? The highway robbery on the streets. Congested. You already pay your federal taxes. That's what the roads and that's what they fix the roads with. Your taxes, your federal taxes, right? So New York State, Kathy Jokel Hochul, alleged damn thief. That's why I said alleged, right? Can't stand this lady, right? She makes people go to the train station now because she wants to clear the streets and she wants to make sure that there's no congestion going on, so that all of these Idahoan and Indianapolises and all of these mid-city countries and people, states that don't know nothing about New York, that think that they know how we need to operate out here, and we're gonna do this and do that, fake like they put some police in the train station for a month, 250 of them, and then all of them are the DEI ones, so skinny and small they can't even fit the smallest damn hat that's issued to them. How you going to stop somebody or run up on a situation with somebody swinging a Razor scooter if you smaller than the person that's getting beat up? That goes to the point where I was trying to tell you guys about the police officers that we have here. They suck. They small, they young, 18, 19, 20 years old. As soon as you get off the train or you see them, they doing this on the phone. They don't got no time to see what you're doing. They doing other stuff. Not only that, it's only a job to them now. Police used to be different. They want to worry about the community. The beat walker come through, had some situations and knew the community and everybody like that. They knew them by name. They don't do that no more. What? What time is it? I'm out of here. Pew! You don't see no police nowhere. New York City, you be lucky to see a patrol car go through. I ain't no gangster, no hood dude like that, but I still think that there's law and order that's necessary. At least if they see the cops, maybe it's going to deter them from committing a crime. People don't care about no police out here no more. They be throwing stuff at them, disrespecting them, because they soft and they little. You hear about the police officers that keep on getting beat up and jumped? Look at who we dealing with out here. It's ridiculous. Come on. It's crazy.
Luckily, she was able to hold that suspect there until police arrived. But Jano Lieber, the head of the MTA, is saying crime is down 30%. And he takes crime against MTA workers very seriously. Listen.
Anybody attack an MTA employee, it's a felony. We have now hired ex-DAs to go push really hard with the criminal justice system, with the DAs and the judges and everybody else to make sure that the consequences are serious. So you attack an MTA employee, you're going to get it.
ATF, after the fact. After that person already got knocked in the head, cracked in their skull. But guess what? Crime is down in the train station, and we're using the money from the congestive pricing that we're getting to put more cars, to fix the trains up and all that. Hell with security and all that. Plus, Lieberman, he got to make sure that he getting his salary, right? You know what I'm saying? The shavings off the top and all of that, right? So this is why I'm pissed off about New York. And even living here now, it sucks. It sucks. The food ain't good. They lying to y'all. All of that Empire State Building stuff and all of that. You're lucky you don't get jugged in the side when you go over there. It's not the way it used to be. I'm telling y'all the truth. Check this out. Now we got another dude that he decided he want to do some SA stuff to some ladies in the train. Why? And I'm going to just call it like it is. Look like an illegal migrant to me. Yeah, straight up and down. The ones that be downtown on 34th Street under the Penn Hotel, it'd be like 15 or 20 of them. They like young. They be out there messing around with the ladies that come from Macy's. If you look at most of the crimes that's happening in Midtown, it's coming from the illegal migrants and all of the ones that's like 15 to 18 years old. They not in school. They hanging out under the Pennsylvania Hotel. I'm calling it like I see it. I ain't snitching, but don't go by the Pennsylvania Hotel right across the street from Madison Square Garden, because you're going to get robbed. Or somebody's husband with the stroller, he going to be trying to tell you, papi, mujer, trying to hook you up with his wife. Yeah, that's what goes on downtown on 34th Street. Oh, but the police is everywhere. We're protected. Crime is down 30%. Keep on going. Look at this dude right here. This the one I'm talking about. The one that I can tell where he from. He look just like one of them dudes I'm talking about. They be right there on 34th Street. Y'all ladies, no disrespect, white Caucasian ladies, don't be going over there. You go straight in Macy's and go down the train station. Don't go across the street from Madison Square Garden by that Penn Hotel. Telling you now, don't go over there.
Hunt for a suspect who they say tried to sexually assault a woman inside a subway station on the Lower East Side.
Fox 6's Lisa Evers joins us live from the East Broadway station. Lisa, this is many riders on edge.
It totally has many riders, especially women riders, on edge, Stephen, Natasha. Now, this happened here about 2:30 this morning at the East Broadway F train station at Essex Street. It was a terrifying ordeal for the woman who managed to get away. Now, the NYPD is looking for this man in connection with the...
I'm calling it like I see it. I'm calling it like I see it. Look like one of them to me. Call me what you want, unsubscribe, whatever you want. This look like one of them to me. Call me what you want, straight up and down. And I guarantee when they catch him, because they will, because of facial recognition, it's going to be a legal migrant. Watch.
Attempted sexual assault. Police say 30-year-old woman was waiting on the northbound F train platform when the suspect approached her from behind. She moved away from him and went up a nearby escalator. Police say he grabbed her from behind, pulled her pants down, and tried to rape her right there on the escalator. The woman was able to get to her phone and started dialing 911, but then the suspect snatched the phone from her and from her hand. He just grabbed it right out of her hand and threw it over the side of the escalator. Police say he ran away. Here's what one rider told us.
See, that's when you just come out of nowhere. Who's that? It's Bugatti. Just catch him straight in the eye, grab him, and then do all types of things to him that y'all not gonna like. Y'all not gonna like it. They need their ass whooped, straight up and down. Because as soon as he would have did that, if 5 people would have got off the train or saw that on the escalator and just boop bap, boop bap, boop bap, he would have been over there like, and then everybody they'd be like, oh my God, don't do that in the train station. The New York citizens, they crazy. They get together and they just be jumping people. Because we ain't got no choice. Ain't no police in the train station. Nobody. Y'all keep on thinking that they down there. Keep on thinking. Essex, where the white money at? Telling you straight up and down, if they ain't down there, they ain't down there. And after 8 o'clock or 5 o'clock, when it's time for them to check out, they checking out. Why? Because arrests don't stick. And how do you get rank as a police officer? Your arrests must stick. They don't stick because we got all these judges, liberal, that keep letting people out of jail. Guarantee you, if he get caught, he's getting out. That's the worst part. He gonna be like, oh no habla inglés, I don't do it, no guilty. Give him another date, he right back on the street again. And you ask me why I'm pissed off? You let me do that. I could walk up the street and they're like, hey, come over here. Yeah, my skin is my sin. I hate to say it, but it's real. And you're gonna put these people over us? Have these people walking over the border just doing all types of crazy stuff and disrespecting and robbing our citizens and ladies? And they always go after the vulnerable people. Why they don't mess with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and mess with me, homeboy. Mess with me. I got some money in my pocket and try to touch me. Touch me. I could just crack you right in your fucking mouth.
I'm not feeling well every day on the train. I'm sometimes uncomfortable and I'm scared sometimes. I don't take the train at night. The night I don't take the train at all.
So at night you won't take the train?
No.
Hell no. Hell no.
Now, the NYPD tells us that it is actively looking for the suspect, who they say is about 5 feet 4 inches tall, about 120 pounds, and in his 20s or early 30s. If you recognize him or have any information, they'd like you to call 1-800-577-TIPS. And as always, you do not have to give your name. We're live on the Lower East.
That's my homegirl right there. Y'all look at my Facebook page. I rock with Lisa. We actually did a couple of segments before on Street Soldiers. So Lisa gets down and she really do her thing. Go check out Street Soldiers and check out Lisa Evers. She really gets in there and she's really in depth on the streets. She'll bring you into a comment. She'll give you an email address and everything. Lisa Evers ain't no joke. That's why I know a lot about what's going on out here. I can text her right now and ask her about this. Homeboy need this whooped. That's what they need. Coming to these comments right now. I apologize to the people that think I went a little extra, but sometimes I just feel that way. And I think we need to step out sometimes and start punching these people in the face. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody think they hard until they get punched in the mouth. By 5 of the riders, just whoop his ass. Just whoop his ass. Let me see, what's going on here? We got Big Dog, y'all need Tesla tunnels in New York City. Mr. Good Citizen said, Chad, even if your numbers are wrong. What else you got? What you got here? We got Thug Life, crime does pays. That's why we have a convicted felon for a president. What else we got here? We got Stella G, compliments of the Bribham administration. What else we got? 5'4", 120 pounds, right? He always, and they messing with a lady. That's why he did it, because he was 5'4", 120. Reggie says, always be around. People can't work forever. What else we got? Mr. Good Citizen says, Iron, thank you. Casey, Lisa Evers, that's what's up, 100. Justin, it's a feeling, LOL. Chad C, at least come with almost numbers. What else you got here? We got Starshine says, yeah, all of the millionaires and early retirement people, not one credit their 401ks. Enjoy your Nikes and flagship cell phones, though. All right, y'all, what else we got? Try to keep on top of this topic right here that we got going on. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Title Trump wins again. Look at the market, so much winning. Okay, cool. I don't mind you saying that. Tweaking Panda, okay, bro, hi. Yeah, I'm damn sure am. Mr. Good Citizen says, retirement won't be around when it's my time, so I don't care. Why you keep saying that all the time, Mr. Good Citizen? You're scaring everybody when you say that, because they know you're smart, and they're like, wait a minute, Mr. Good Citizen is dropping a bomb over there. You're talking about the Social Security and 401ks, right? We know what you're talking about. We know what you're talking about. Let's swing it real quick, because we're going to see what Hegseth said about these Houthis. Because as you can see right here in our title here, we got the Houthis, that they said it's been a rough week for them. A rough 3 weeks. And they are not stopping. So Pete Hegseth, he got a message for the Houthis, and he was in the Oval Office the other day when they were asked the question about it. I want you guys to see how this went down. If you like the content, I see we're very low on the like numbers. A lot of people are still here. That means you actually appreciate the content, right? So if you actually do appreciate the content, I really appreciate if you can double tap that screen so we can get those likes up to get more people over here, because we are, our bottom line, the #1 channel on 6 o'clock in the morning when it come down to YouTube, when it come down to that news. We got more in the clip. We ain't even halfway through. Really appreciate if we get those likes up, because I want you guys to see what's going on right here when we're talking about these talks in the Oval Office. Let's go.
Mr. President, many of thank you for the chance. Many of Palestinian Americans who voted for you and not for Biden because you've promised them to end the war in Gaza. Very honored by that vote, too. The war is still going on and there's no hostage deal. Do you have any update on that?
Well, I'd like to see the war stop, and I think the war will stop at some point that won't be in the too distant future. Right now we have a problem with hostages. We're trying to get the hostages out. We got quite a few of them out, but it's a long process. It shouldn't be that long. We have a big problem that we've done. I think I'll ask Pete to maybe talk about it for a second, because a lot of people are asking. The Houthis, we've been very tough and very successful militarily. We've really damaged them badly. These were people shooting down ships and other things, by the way, flying objects like airplanes. And we've put a major hurt on the Houthis, which nobody's been able to do. We've really hit them hard, and they know it, and they don't know what to do. And it's every night, night after night. And we've gotten many of their leaders and their experts. They're experts on missiles. I mean, they actually make missiles. Nobody thought that. But they make missiles. They're highly sophisticated, and they're very tough. But they've been very badly damaged. Nobody else was able to do that but us. Pete, you want to discuss that, please?
Yes, sir. It's been a bad 3 weeks for the Houthis, and it's about to get worse. It's been a devastating campaign, whether it's underground facilities, weapons manufacturing, bunkers, troops in the open, air defense assets. We are not going to relent. And it's only to get more unrelenting until the Houthis declare they will stop shooting at our ships. And we've been very clear at the Iranians as well. They should not continue to provide support to the Houthis, and that message has been made very clear. So we have a lot more options and a lot more pressure to apply, and we know, because we see the reports, how devastating this campaign has been in them, and we will not relent.
We have a great military. There's no military like our military. And despite Biden having given a lot, but nevertheless a pretty small piece, but it was a lot of our military away in Afghanistan, and one of the dumbest situations, I think, and maybe the most embarrassing situation we've ever been involved in, that that short period of time in Afghanistan. What a disgrace that was. But
Okay, y'all. So y'all see what's going on with the Houthis right now. The Houthis have been damaged. They've knocked out a lot of the heads, a lot of the major communications. I had no idea that they had the capabilities to make missiles. Very advanced adversaries that we never even knew about the capabilities. So never underestimate the person that you're going after or that you're in war with. I want to keep on moving, but I do want to know what you guys have to say about this comment. So let's get out here. William Denino says, tariffs one of the dumbest, stupidest ever seen. Iron Prophet says, Denon, what would be a better strategy? And then we got, I never met a Houthi. 111 Brooklyn says that. Kendra Walker says, play nice in the comments and stay on topic, please. Y'all hear Kendra? Y'all need to stay on topic and play nice because she will let me know to get y'all out of here. Mr. Good Citizen, if you like the government allowed people to keep their social security money and invest in one of their own, they'd end up with more from retirement than government social security. Iron Prophet says, what's a better strategy than William? Alex Indra says, what war? We're fighting women and kids over there. Daniel says, tariffs are stupid except when they're against us. US says, then you calling all of the countries who use tariffs on us stupid? Mr. Good Citizen says, government got our seniors living in poverty and Social Security. I love the way you guys are keeping on topic and talking it to each other. You're keeping it so rounded. This is phenomenal right here. Natalie Georgievich says, getting mad and name calling just shows you how no respect or understanding, you're just exposing your ignorance. I like that one too, Natalie. Car Care says evil is a part-time occupation in all of life. You guys are killing it right now. And I want to move on right now because we got to give a round of applause to the president. Yeah, give him a round of applause because Trump wins again. We're going to the title here. The Supreme Court. I could roll this out like on a red carpet. I'm so happy to say this right here. I'm going to start from the tip. Trump wins again. Supreme Court rules Aliens Enemies Act can be used. So get your ass out of here. They can go home now. Let's go. How can they go home? Show me, Bugatti. What are they talking about with this Trump wins again with the Aliens Enemies Act? Well, I'm going to show you guys right now. Breaking news. The Supreme Court has lifted a court order that's blocking President Trump from deporting Venezuelans under rarely used 1798 wartime law. This is all hot off the press from the AP. Round of applause for success. Round of applause, you guys. I'm so happy to report this. I don't know how to say it.
We have some breaking news for you on this Monday evening. You're taking a look here at a post on X from the Associated Press as they are now reporting some breaking news that the Supreme Court has lifted a court order blocking President Trump from deporting Venezuelans under a rarely used 1798 wartime law. Now, that decision came down 5-4, with the court saying that the migrants still must get a chance to challenge their deportation before they are taken out of the country, and said the Trump administration must give them, quote, reasonable time to go to court. But the conservative majority said the legal challenges must take place in Texas instead of a Washington courtroom. The AP goes on to say that the justices acted on the administration's emergency.
Okay, so you guys see that he won in court, and Texas is going to be the state in which they actually take that to court in, and you already know what's going to happen in Texas. Texas ain't going for it. They're already tired of them going over the border, so y'all can imagine what's about to happen right now. I'm happy. I am so happy. Goodbye. Hate to see you go, but time to go. Stoop doo 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 doo. Time to go. Doo 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 doo. Over that border. Doo 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 doo. And all of the criminals go on back to El Salvador, go back to Venezuela, and give us our country back because our resources have been drained to the point where we can't even take care of ourselves. We are now that passenger on the plane that they say, put your mask on and then help the person next to you. We've been giving the mask to so many people next to us that we can't even make it. We better put that mask on ourselves first and then worry about everybody after. We have no other choice. That's how I look at it. So when it comes down to our security, not talking about the terrorists, I'm talking about the criminals doing the crazy stuff in the train, robbing the ladies downtown, I like to see them get deported and go anywhere. I don't even care if they send them to Cambodia. You're lucky it ain't me. Huh. I'm straight up and down. I'm going to see what you guys got to say about it in the comments over here. What else? We got a lot of comments. I got to roll down. We got, they came for the immigrants and I said nothing. They came for the poor and said nothing. History repeats. What else you got? Iron Prophet. Next year when your portfolios are booming, I want to hear you complain then. Right? Right, Iron? That's right. Boss Titty says, I'm here to talk to all of you slaves. Woo, 111 BKLLN. Send them away. That's right, 111. Michael K, yes. Get the earth out of here. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about over here. Pass the bill and let it be the will. So check this out. Okay. Y'all remember, I got a maraschino cherry for this one. I got a cherry on top. Y'all ready for this one? Whoever's really happy about this, that's your sundae, right? Whatever kind of sundae you like, whether it's chocolate, banana split, or whatever, right? I got a cherry I can put on top of this for you guys. Because the migrants who entered the U.S. under President Biden administration's CBP-1 app, they've been stripped of their status and they've been ordered to go home. No comment. I'm just telling you what's happening right here with all of the people that use that app to come over the border. They got to go home. That's what they're saying. They got to go home. Here we go. Bye-bye. See ya.
The Department of Homeland Security is revoking the immigration status of migrants who enter the country using the CB1 app. This could potentially impact hundreds of thousands of migrants. This comes as the Supreme Court says the Trump administration can temporarily use the Alien Enemies Act for deportations. Now, that's what the United States used to detain Japanese nationals during World War II, and now the administration wants to do the same to Venezuelan nationals who have gang ties. Amy Kiley reports.
What's wrong with that?
This is a win for the Trump administration.
Again.
The Supreme Court is allowing deportation proceedings under the Alien Enemies Act for now.
I'd like to know something. I'm gonna do a poll, an easy poll. Everybody that appreciate this and is happy about it, could you put the emojis with the hand claps, please? I want to see the hand claps, and go ahead and like so more people know. Because you would want more people to know about this, right? So I want to see the hand claps for everybody who's in agreement for this, right? And everybody that doesn't like it, all you got to do is the thumbs down. I want to see how many people are for aliens, enemies, and the actually acting and working. And I want to know who doesn't approve. Let's get to these comments right here. We got a lot stacked in the deck. I got something to talk about. Let's go. What we got over here? Philip Deems got all claps from Philip. We got Andre King, he's got the claps up. Batty Lynn clapping. Iron Prophet is clapping. Well, we got some Russians up in here. Mad love to Russia, Ukraine. Ukraine, mad love to Ukraine. I see you guys up in here. Thank you for coming in. Big Dog is clapping. Philip is clapping. Mega clap, clap. Tweaking Panda says, saving trillions? Question. What the F are you? Can you elaborate? Chad C says, exactly, innovation. 11 trillion off of books in the last 4 trading sessions. Michael K says, thank God. We got Boss Titties that says, but we don't corrupt ourselves, do we? Back in the line, keep your heads down. Keep your heads down. What else we got up in here? We got a lot of clapping going on up in here. We got Natalie Georgievich that says they came in with an app telling them that where to go get free stuff and get gift cards, social security numbers, and all of that. Keith got the claps up. Abstemious got the hands up with the Vulcan, the peach. I see the peach and the crying. You funny. Joshua Chiago. We got send him to hell. Rudy the boxer's clapping. Everybody's in agreement with this. Everybody's in agreement so far.
but with stipulations. The ruling throws out a U.S. district judge's order. President Donald Trump says on social media it's, quote, a great day for justice.
You can use these additional authorities, such as the Alien Enemies Act, to target these terrorist organizations.
But the Supreme Court says the men involved in the case can challenge the use of the Alien Enemies Act.
Yeah, you can challenge it all you want, but it's going to be hard to challenge when you're already in El Salvador, because as soon as we get you, we're going to let the door split you. How about that? We're not stupid. We're not going to fight it over here. Get them on the plane. First of all, how about this? Get them detained, put them on the plane, and send them back to where they came, from where they came. How about that? We're going to make it a rhyme. Get them detained, put them on a plane, and send them back to the place from which they came. That's what we all about on this chat right here. Right about now, I want you guys to see something else. Remember the guy that was in Maryland that they said that we had to bring back because he was sent to El Salvador the wrong way, and he's a family man, and he's not MS-13, and they want him brought back from the El Salvador prison. Too bad. He kind of got caught up in this situation here, and they say, no necesito. We're not giving him back. Y'all must be, and y'all ain't coming to get him. So he can't go back. The judge that says, oh, wait a minute, we want the guy to come back to the United States so he can go to court here and whatever. That ain't happening because of what you just saw prior. Because of what just happened, he no longer has to come back to United States. So he's stuck over there too. I don't know how good this is or bad because I don't know this guy's situation, but here's the story on that.
Welcome back and thank you all for joining us here at Live Now from Fox. My name is Carla Hara and we do want to get to some breaking news at this time. As you're seeing here, a post from the Associated Press, Chief Justice John Roberts has paused an order for the Trump administration to return a man mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. It's a story that we have been following for several days now, as we just heard that the Justice Department did argue in an emergency appeal to the justices that U.S. District Judge overseeing this case overstepped her authority when she ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia returned to the United States. The administration has conceded that Abrego Garcia should not have been sent to El Salvador because an immigration judge found he likely would face persecution by local gangs. But he is no longer in U.S. custody, and the government has no way to get him back.
So my thing is, because he looks to get persecution by local gangs, why is that? What's the problem with him and local gangs? What's the affiliation? Why is there a problem with the gangs or whatever like that? Number two, why is it our problem? You know, you want to find, and then you came over here. They're not saying that he's legal. They're not saying that he got paperwork. They're just saying that that he don't want to go back because local gangs have a problem with him. Well, what did you do with them local gangs, and what gang are you a part of that you might have a problem with that you're trying to get away from? And why are you bringing that crap over here if that's what you're doing? Because a lot of times you guys can see a man in the picture with his kid. It looks so wholesome. It looks like he's being fatherly. But John Gotti, Al Capone, a lot of mafias and a lot of gangsters had kids. And they're really good when it comes down to photo ops. Here we go here. Justin says, because you trade on moral authority. Young says, not our problem. Exactly. Tweaking says, he said just the correction. Pig Daddy, Gene, how was the stock market affecting you? Natalie says, I'm joking, by the way. What else we got? When was the last time prices for goods ever came down? When they go up, they stay that way. What else we got here? You're right about that. I'm pissed off about that. D, you're making a good point, but you're just saying it on a different topic that we're covering right now. This topic is totally different that we're covering right now. Let's finish this story real quick.
That's according to some of the arguments made by the administration. Now, the judge that was presiding, the district judge, gave the administration until just before midnight to, quote, facilitate and effectuate Abrego Garcia's return. Saying, quote, the district court's injunction, which requires Abrego Garcia's release from the custody of a foreign sovereign and return to the United States by midnight on Monday, is patently unlawful, according to the Solicitor General in what he wrote in court papers, casting the order as one, a quote, a deluge of unlawful injunctions judges have issued to slow President Donald Trump's agenda. The Trump administration is separately asking the Supreme Court to allow President Trump to resume deportations of Venezuelan migrants accused of being gang members to the same Salvadoran prison under an 18th century wartime law. The federal appeals court in Richmond, Virginia, denied the administration's request for a stay, saying, quote, "There is no question that the government screwed up here." The White House has described Abrego Garcia's deportation as an administrative error, but has also cast him an MS-13 gang member. Now, attorneys for Abrego Garcia said there is no evidence he was an MS-13. But that is just the latest breaking news. Again, back out to this post on X from the Associated Press, showcasing here that Chief Justice John Roberts paused the order for the Trump administration to return a man mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. So
I don't know if he got his papers. They didn't even say if he was illegal or illegal, but I'm assuming that he must have been illegal because of the fact that they wouldn't have had no information and no contact stuff on him. So want to keep on moving forward right now because there's been a lot of stuff going on in the Oval Office. As you guys saw, President Trump was sitting next to Netanyahu, and we didn't get a chance to see what that discussion was about. So just a clip here I want to show you guys about, which basically shows where Netanyahu makes a big announcement about the U.S.-Israel trade after Trump's tariffs. I want you guys to see this right here because he was sitting in the Oval Office and he made a speech that I want you guys to see what he basically was talking about. Let's go.
The United States. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
Benjamin, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Mr. President, I want to first thank you for inviting me again to the White House. You've been a remarkable friend of the State of Israel. You stand by us. You're standing with us. You are a great, great champion of our alliance. And you actually do the thing.
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously. Why are you not investing into one of the most
things that you say you do? And I think that people respect that enormously. I certainly do, and the people of Israel do, and I think the Jewish people do as well. We just saw your representative in the Department of Justice fighting anti-Semitism, standing up for Israel in international forums. I just want you to know from the heart, it's deeply, deeply appreciated. As you said, we had the opportunity to talk today about many subjects. First, if I can mention tariffs, it's a subject of some interest today. I can tell you that I said to the President a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And, I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you've put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly. I had the opportunity to speak to Secretary Lutnick yesterday. We talked about how we could affect this quickly, and I hope to bring the solution very quickly. We're not talking about intentions. We're not talking about, just words. We're talking about results. And those results are going to come back. That's the first.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
Thank you.
So you already heard him say. Now, they didn't even really have a long back and forth when it comes down to Israel. They're basically going to eliminate the tariffs when it comes down to Israel. Again, another situation, another conversation where tariffs are being brought up, and it looks like the United States are possibly going to benefit from this. If you remember yesterday what I told you, what I read that came from a statement from Eric Trump that said, I've seen this happen before with my dad. The smartest thing to do was be the people that's early negotiating. I would hate to be the last person that tries to make a phone call because he's not going to be so enthusiastic about negotiating with that country. And right now, as you can see, like he said already, over 50 countries swarming in, trying to go ahead and negotiate. So tariffs may actually pay off, you guys. They may actually pay off. I want you to also see there's a situation right here why he's saying that there's no tariffs with Russia. This is very interesting too. Why would there be a tariff with a country that's actually at war right now? So it makes a lot of sense. And look, and as you can see, these conversations are coming down and being broken down one by one at a time.
Thank you, sir. Can you talk a little bit about your potential meeting with Vladimir Putin? Do you still plan to meet with him? Could that happen in Saudi Arabia? And maybe you could elaborate as well a little bit on not providing tariffs on Russia, sir.
So the reason we're not talking about tariffs with Russia is because we're not doing business essentially with Russia because they're in a war. And I'm not happy about what's going on with the bombing because they're bombing like crazy right now. They're bombing. I don't know what's happening there. That's not a good situation. So we're meeting with Russia. We're meeting with Ukraine. And we're getting sort of close. But I'm not happy with all the bombing that's going on in the last week or so.
Anytime I can get information right from the president that's actually non-interfered with, that's why you see maybe a couple of clips from the same sitting, the same situation. It's just, again, me thinking that I just want you guys to make sure that we're getting well-rounded information. And it's as much information that we can access from every category of what's going on around the world. I'm in the comments, want to know what you guys got to say. Let's see what you guys got to say about all of this heat that we've been dropping. Double tap that screen if you appreciate the content. Rucker says, let's go Russia. Bill Michaels says, Fonz agreed, but I'm glad they do. What you got, Danny? Danny K says, good morning from Tampa Bay. What's up, Tampa Bay? How y'all doing? Stanley says, them fallout jobs. Car Care says, Trump. What else we got? Justin says, Ukraine is also at war and Israel. U.S. says, devil dog, everything must be made in China. Wait a minute, I can't get past this right here. Justin just made a point. Justin said Ukraine is also at war and Israel. Okay, so he's basically saying, so you can do tariff negotiation with them while they're at war, right? Caught that, Justin. Thank you so much for the knowledge. USOA Devil Dog says everything must be made in China. We also got, what we got up in here? We got a long one there. What we got? Bill Michael says, Jalib, we have to be careful saying that. We'll be considered anti-Semitic. U.S. Devil Dog says they can't escape it. Bill Andy, good morning, Bill Andy. Good morning. Get rid of that value. Add tax, and currency, manipulated. Draco says zero tariffs equals zero tariffs. Why is the math so hard for China? I don't know. You know why? Because China, they just want to be hard for no reason. You remember what I told you guys the other day? You know, when you go in the store and you see a pair of sneakers and they say $120 on them. Everybody tries to negotiate sometimes, especially back in the day when you had cash. Like, yo, if I give you $100, you good? Oh, no. Most of the time, it's, hurry up and buy. No, take the price down. No. Not knowing that that's sort of like a tariff as well. Negotiate with me a little bit. I'll buy the sneakers from you, and then next time, I might have to pay full price. But that might attract me to keep on coming back to the store because you negotiate a little bit. People that don't negotiate, like China, and that have a history of being known for not negotiating, for being very hard with negotiations, for stealing, allegedly, plans, manufacturing, knocking off people's products, allegedly. Yeah, people like that don't want to negotiate. Canada, I think that they're going to negotiate because they need those tariffs from us. They need the monetary breaks, and we're securing them. You guys can't forget about that. They rely on the United States of America and our military to basically secure them. Yes, they have their own military, but trust me, it's nothing like ours. It's nothing like ours at all. Right now, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you remember when Sleepy Joe was out here rambling around and tripping up the steps and everything? Yeah, no disrespect, but President Joe Biden, ex-President Joe Biden, check this out. There's a cover-up with Biden's doctors. They're trying to say that his doctors should face a grilling on the mental decline as well as the cabinet members and other officials who are aware of Biden's mental state. When they plan to re-elect him, they already knew that something was going on upstairs, and he wasn't really, he didn't have the resolve to become, the president again. But what they did was they're trying to say that many people already knew this in the cabinet, but they didn't admit it. And now they're finally admitting it because monetary gain, books, people are doing tell-alls. So what they're saying is now that you're making monetary off of it, you're willing to admit how incapable he was, but when it was going on, you didn't want to tell the American people the truth. Check this out, you guys. I want you to see this right here. Thought this would be something that you guys would be interested in checking out.
House Republicans say they're going to investigate the cover-up of President Biden's mental decline. Been waiting for that for some time. I'm glad they're getting on it. Democrats are now facing questions on Biden's mental fitness after the 2 new books that revealed stunning details about the cover-up.
Do you think that former President Biden's advisors misled the American people about his capacities?
It's hard for me to gauge what the closest advisors of the president were seeing at the time. I can only speak to the interactions that I had with him, which were, in the months leading up to his getting out of the race, largely ceremonial occasions. But I will say this. He made the decision to get out of the race. I think that was the right decision.
It's hard for him to gauge. I mean, most of you gauged. We all had the video. I guess Schiff wasn't paying attention. And Governor Tim Walz now backpedaling as well.
The party needs to acknowledge that President Biden was not up for the job of running for re-election and that this was a major mistake.
He made that decision.
I know, but you all went along with the idea that he was up for it and he wasn't. And everybody saw it and the country rejected it.
Yeah, well, look, history will tell us to go back on that. That very well could be the case, Jake. What I'm concerned about is
history will tell us to go back on that. That could be the case, Jake. So basically, it's true. Tampon Tim is finally telling the truth. Look at this, y'all.
Wasn't, and everybody saw it, and the country rejected it.
Yeah, well, look, history will tell us to go back on that. That very well could be the case, Jake. What I'm concerned about is learning from those lessons. I would hope we would never do it again, make a mistake, make sure we go through and get someone.
Interesting. Well, that's not what he said this past August.
Did you discuss that he's fit for office?
Yes, it's up for office. President has three and a half years of delivering for us, going through what we've all been through. None of us are denying. Thursday night was a bad performance. It was a bad hit, if you will, on that. But it doesn't impact what I believe he's delivering.
So there was Tim Walz defending President Biden. I want to bring up Kamala Harris, who also defended someone she watched for 4 years decline, and yet she defended him this way after that epic Robert Hur report.
So the way that the president's demeanor in that report was characterized could not be more wrong on the facts and clearly politically motivated, gratuitous.
Emily, they defended Biden categorically and fervently, and now you have Tim Walz backing away. What, because he wants to run for president?
Of course, and because it's now so obvious that what we are learning is the extent of the cover-up, and it's even more shocking than we thought. I want to focus for a minute, because as we've talked about, well, what next? What does that accountability look like? And we hope we see some. Congress is going to haul in some people and actually drill down deep into what was said and when. And I want to point out, for one, Dr. Kevin O'Connor's the White House physician, who maintained over and over and over again how fit and how mentally acute that President Biden was. There's a lot to answer for here. And just remembering this one fact, that in the span of 9 months, there was a Parkinson's specialist, also a Kevin Kennard, a physician, that visited President Biden 8 times. Mm-hmm. So 8 times a Parkinson's specialist visited the president in the span of 9 months. And when asked about it at the time, Dr. O'Connor said, "Oh, no, nothing to see here. Everything is just fine."
And then when he was found guilty of the crime, they basically said that he was incompetent and could not basically face the criminal charges because of his age and because of his decline. Let's just call it what it is. They've been caught in the crosshairs, and we can just tell a spade when it's a spade. Let's go ahead. Let's tell the truth about it at this point, guys. See what you guys have to say about this. Hold the trails. U.S. says, ha, ha, ha. If Walz runs in 2028, that's an easy win for Vance. What else we got? We got Rebecca says, yup, covering it and making money by writing books. Also, who is really using the auto one? just showed papers for him to sign. Yep, the auto pen. BN says, BN, good morning. My dad has end-stage 4 Parkinson's. Biden has it. He said it, period. BN says, my dad has end-4-stage Parkinson's and Biden has it, period. Bill Michaels says the media fix is in. Big dog, when Kamala Harris laughs, a transgender is born. Tweakin says, ask yourself why they allowed it. Like it didn't show that he wasn't all the way there. They're trying to say basically what they were doing was using him as just a face while they were just having him do stuff. So he was just a paper president, just like right literally, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. You can go to him like grandpa, you know, such and such said this to me. And then, I mean, if he ain't got his wherewithal, of course you could take advantage of him. Think about that. So that's basically what they were doing to Biden in the final days of him being the president until they decided, you know what, let's get him out of here and let's put somebody close to the situation that we know that's going to keep this charade going. That's how I look at it. U.S. says the divide began on 2009. Woke began in 2009. Bro, Bill Michaels says weekend with Bernie. Obama 228 says mark pressure. I already saw you do that. Okay, sir. You know, I keep on trolling the same thing. Justin, no, they never. They said he won't come across as guilty of a crime. Misfilling papers is wrong. Boxes and boxes of documents is not the same thing. U.S. says he already served his term and began this hell. BN says need an auto pen because he can't hold one from trimmers. Oh, he had to use an auto pen because he couldn't hold one because of his hand with the trimmers. I got what you're saying. Blue says, please speak out against the Gaza baby child genocide. Okay, guys, do me a favor. If you guys appreciate the content, let's go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. We do this every single day from 6 o'clock until we're done. Hope you guys appreciate the content, because what I want to tell you right now is if you want to make some money, I found a way to put up to $750 in your pocket. Go to the description. There's a link inside the description where you guys can fill out 2 surveys, one for $500, the other one is for about $250, and see if you can make some money today. I like to try to help you guys out and put some money in your pocket. So go ahead and see if you can pass on one of those surveys and make some money. Also, you guys already know, in the beginning of next month, and that's May. That's right. We're starting the Show Your talent show in all 5 boroughs of New York. That means you, if you can dance, sing, whatever, cook, whatever we call a talent, I want to see it because I'm going to be the one hosting Show Your Talent. And everybody that shows up, if you're a winner, you'll be able to make $250 in cash for your talent. That's right. It's sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch. And basically what's going to happen is all 5 boroughs, you guys show up, you show us your talent. We like your talent, think it's a fantastic talent. Boom, automatic $250 in cash. If you actually are one of the finals and you make it to the finals, which that means that you're going to win that borough, you'll get a chance to compete against every other borough. You'll be able to make $1,000 in cash. That's right, $1,000 in cash, bringing the total to $1,250 that the actual winner will make. So that means you come out. You could be singing, you could be dancing. One guy said that he wanted to work out and he only got one leg. If that's a talent and it looks good and the crowd likes it, you're going to be the one that wins. This is not about one sort of talent. It's not about just singing. It's not about just rapping or dancing. We like to be overall with this. There's so many different types of talents out there. I'm going to be the host. I'm going to let you guys know all of the locations so that you can be there on time. Probably by tomorrow, we're going to have the actual listings of all of the locations so that you guys can plan ahead and be a part of this situation. Show Your talent search in all 5 boroughs of New York. $250 to every single person that wins each borough, as well as $1,000 for the grand prize winner. I will be the host, as well as a bunch of celebrity hosts that we haven't confirmed yet, that are confirming right now. So with that being said, you guys, y'all already know this is your boy Bugatti NYC. Our show is called Our Bottom Line. We do this every single day. You now have a chance to go ahead and subscribe to the channel because hopefully we will go ahead and reach that 30,000 subscriber mark because we're at that point where we're almost right there. You guys can help us out. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And this way you get a chance to be here with us every day and be a part of the channel, you guys. Our Bottom Line. That's the name of our show. And like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Go on over to the website, www.drinkbigdrip, that's 2 G's, 2 P's.com. Go ahead and chime in, send me an email. I always respond. Even when you comment later on, I respond to your comments. Love you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Do not let problems take you out of your swag, out of your zone. Why? Because we made it another day. Problems present opportunities, and you keep on pushing, you keep on going for it. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Stay safe and have a good one. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, see you guys at 6 o'clock. Get 'em! 1.